This news was announced literally at like 5 a.m. here in Vancouver, which is not surprising because the Montreal Canadiens like to announce things early. But either way, we have some huge updates to go over for a pretty not so huge guy, but still his magnitude of impact on the team, I guess, is pretty huge, so you could go ahead and say that. I was going to initially make a video talking about Ken Hughes and the comments he made yesterday during the press conference, but because this news is as it is, it's a lot more noteworthy, I think, so we're going to move the Kent Hughes comments over to tomorrow or later in the week, something like that. It depends on what other topics pop up. But for today, June 1st, by the way, happy Pride Month, we have ourselves the hiring of Martin St. Louis into a full-time head coach position for the Montreal Canadiens. Let's go over to the Canadiens website on NHL.com and read what they have to say. Martin St. Louis becomes the 32nd head coach in Canadiens history. He receives a 3-year contract extension through the 2024-2025 season. The Habs GM Ken Hughes announced today that the team has agreed to terms on a 3-year deal. Okay, that's just what the title says. St. Louis officially becomes the 32nd head coach in franchise history. He was named the interim head coach on February 9th, 2022, taking over from Dominique Ducharme. Under his leadership, the Habs posted up a 14-19-4 record. Now, if you do the math on that, okay, 14 plus 4, 18, 18 plus 18 is 36, plus 1 more is 37 games played. The Habs, under Martin St. Louis, had themselves 32 points in 37 games, which is not, the best, but hey, at least it is what it is. We can acknowledge that there was a spark that the Canadiens did have under St. Louis that lasted for a little bit. We are happy to officially appoint Martin as head coach of the Habs, said GM Kent Hughes. Martin is a proven leader, a great communicator with a deep understanding and passion for the game of hockey. His arrival brought a renewed energy to our group, and we look forward to him returning to the bench to continue guiding our team for the foreseeable future. During his short stint behind the bench last season, Martin showed he has the required qualities to lead the Canadiens in the right direction, stated Vice President of Hockey Operations Jeff Gorton. Despite the difficult circumstances when he took over, he was able to bring a breath of fresh air to the locker room, and the players benefited from it as much individually as they did collectively. Martin thinks the game at a high level, and we believe that he is the right person for this job. Before coaching, St. Louis experienced a stellar playing career, collecting 1,033 points in 1,134 regular season games with the Flames, the Rangers, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. He had 90 points in 107 playoff games and won the Stanley Cup with the Lightning in 2004. He was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2018, won the Hart Trophy in 2004, Art Ross in 2004 and 2014, and was awarded the Lady Byng in 2010, 11, and 13 too. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but what I also wanted to do was go over to Twitter and read some of the quotes that St. Louis had during the press conference, because he did meet with the media via Zoom a few hours after the announcement was made. Here are a few select tweets that I wanted to highlight from St. Louis himself. He says he's not closing the door on the possibility that another assistant coach could be had for next season. There still is no decision made yet. So that just says that, hey, there's still some more options here for the Canadiens to hire a little bit more and get some more experience, or maybe not even experience. Maybe they are interested in hiring somebody else who is in a brand new position like St. Louis was, because he had never been a head coach at the NHL level before. But maybe that is the case. We'll see where exactly the Canadiens go in the next few weeks over here. He also says that my son's Bantam team, they were really interested in having me back when asked if any other teams expressed interest in his services. And, I mean, it's not wrong. I'm not too surprised to hear that. The Bantam team probably would have benefited quite heavily from having a coach who had been at the NHL level, but either way, there might have been some sort of internal conflict within St. Louis to decide which team needed his services the most, the Bantam team or the Habs. I'm happy he chose the Habs, but of course there is a sentimental value to his son's Bantam team as well. He says, do I want to win at the price of not developing young guys? No. Sometimes you gotta put those guys on the ice and show them confidence. I'm not going into the season thinking that I have to win every game. I'm not doing that. Now, that's a really interesting perspective, because what it says to me is that Shane Wright, Slafkovsky, whoever the heck it is, the Montreal Canadiens take at the first overall spot, they're going to get playing time. And the Montreal Canadiens are not going to stop them and limit their abilities on the ice because, hey, we got to win. We have to go out there and force a system that gives us the highest likelihood of success. We're not going to play Jake Evans over Shane Wright on the power play because Jake Evans is a more experienced NHL veteran and therefore somebody who is quote-unquote better right now. There's going to be opportunities for younger players to come in and do their thing. Martin St. Louis is going to make sure of that. At least for the next 3 years, it appears that's going to be the case. On that note, he also says that it's not about thinking that losing is okay, but it's also not about winning at all costs. Now, I like that very specific wording he had, that it's not like the team is going out there thinking they're going to lose games. It's okay if you play a game where you lose 3-2 in regulation, but Shane Wright had 2 assists and they were all at even strength. That's a pretty good game, I think. A lot of Canadiens fans are not really expecting the team to win and shatter the lights out and go to the finals again, but just having noticeable success and noticeable development for some of the guys that are on this team that are not necessarily the oldest. There is a lot of value in that specifically. So I do like how St. Louis clarified that specific idea, saying, yeah, no, it's not like we're going to lose on purpose. It's we need to make sure there are other ways to develop this hockey team, and winning all the time just isn't necessarily that. There also was a video of the press conference on the Sportsnet Twitter account. In the 37 games I coached, I don't think we were a 32nd place team. By the way, I just gotta say, this guy's man cave is awesome. You see the picture of him in the background, you see the jerseys, St. Louis of the Tampa Bay Lightning, St. Louis of the Rangers, very nice frames over there. And of course, he's talking about the confidence he has in his group and how they're a lot better than the standing they had in the 2021-2022 NHL regular season. You like to see that, right? You like to see the coach pumping the tires of the team because he knows that they're a little bit better than how they finished in the NHL standings. And besides, there was a pretty good win streak here and there that St. Louis would allow the team to go on that Dominique Ducharme just absolutely did not even reach in this season. It's kind of funny, though, isn't it? How Dominique Ducharme was able to have such a high level of success in the postseason last year, but during the regular season, everything kind of crumbles away. Maybe that's just because Philippe Deneau, Shea Weber, Carey Price, and all of them were gone, but I gotta think that coaching plays some part of it as well, right? He was also asked what he was most proud of last season, and he answered he felt the team was excited to come to the rink in a different season. He says his practices are much different than even when he played in the NHL, and it translated into the way they played. They showed fight. And yeah, I think there was a noticeable level of improvements when it comes to the work ethic and the desire of the team after Martin St. Louis took over. Not just the point production and the goals and everything. Christian Dvorak, we talked about this in the video the other day, that he absolutely exploded offensively. He was on pace for like a 59-point season under Martin St. Louis over a full 82-game schedule. You had Cole Caulfield, who was scoring at a 50-goal pace or whatever the heck it was. It was something crazy like that. I'm going to be very interested in seeing where Caulfield lies next season. And I think a full season under Martin St. Louis will really determine whether or not we actually did get Caulfield robbed of the Calder by Dominique Ducharme, because yeah, that guy just really didn't put Caulfield in a position to succeed. 1 goal in however many freaking games the guy had. It's kind of wild when you consider the talent that Cole Caulfield does possess. But either way, talk in the comments all your thoughts about Martin St. Louis being the full-time head coach for the next 3 years. What do you think about the comments made by not only Martin St. Louis on the press conference after his hiring, but by Kent Hughes as well? He had a little bit of a thing to say in the article. It's going to be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and read that, by the way, so go ahead and give the Canadiens their ad views. Wait a minute, no, there aren't any ads on the NHL website, I think. But either way, talk to me in the comments all your thoughts. St. Louis head coach 3 years. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.